October is usually the end of the summer garden season in many parts of the northern hemisphere, but there are still plenty of tasks to knock out in the garden even as the weather turns cool. Here's a quick look at what I'm doing in my garden in October, and you might consider doing the same. The first thing I'm doing in October is to clean up and cover. I've got a couple of beds that are done for the season, and so I need to pull the plants out. I will usually just cut the plants and leave the roots in place, but what's left in this bed were plants that suffered early season damage and never established strong roots. After the beds are cleared, I pull back the wood chip mulch and plant my cover crop seeds. I'm planting a garden cover crop mix I got from True Leaf Market. It's a blend of different plants that will grow very fast and help build my soil quality over the winter. If you want to learn more about why you should cover crop, even as a gardener, leave a comment below and I'll make a full video about the benefits. In just a few short days, I've got plants growing like crazy. These will be full of greenery before the first frost, and they'll actually overwinter pretty well. I'll knock them down in the spring before I'm ready to plant my summer garden next year, and they will provide a ton of extra organic matter and nutrients to the soil. Lots of benefits. After my clean and cover operation is complete, I'm going to move on to harvesting and preserving my crops in October. For me, this mostly means making sauces and dehydrating things for powders. I grow a ton of peppers and tomatoes, right? So I'll be making a lot of hot sauce. I've got a bunch of recipes on my channel already for how to make hot sauce. Check them out. I'll leave some links below. But it also means, like I said, making pepper powders. I like to dry my peppers in a dehydrator so that I can then grind them up and use them in different seasoning mixes or just plain to add some heat to my food. I've also got a video on that process that I will leave a link to below. If you're into canning, October is the time to really do that as well. I'm not much of a canner, but the key here is just don't let a single part of your bounty go to waste. If you can't eat it fresh before it goes bad, preserve it. There's a lot of great ways to do that. Again, if you want to learn more about preserving your garden crop, leave a comment below and I'll make a video just about the different ways to preserve your foods. So now that my kitchen is full of spicy hot sauce fumes, I'm going to step out into the yard to deal with something I'm often tempted to neglect, and that's tree trimming. While not a garden-specific task, trimming your trees is important to make sure they continue to grow well, and also to control how much light is or isn't getting to your garden. These ones provide a little bit of shade on some of my plants, and so I want to make sure that it's not too much shade, so that there's still good dappled sunlight coming through. I've got willows here that I planted as literal twigs 5 years ago. They're now over 20 feet tall and overgrown all the way down to the ground. I'm going to give them a quick trim up to get some airflow and light back around the lower parts of the tree especially, and just to clean up some of the branches that are hanging into my neighbor's yard to avoid any issues and storms. But the other bonus here is that I'm getting free material for my compost pile. I am running all of these branches through a chipper to kind of chop them up into smaller pieces. These will go right into my big 4x4 compost, and they will slowly break down over the months ahead. And finally, I'm starting some indoor plants in October. I'm using hydroponics this winter to grow some tomatoes and peppers indoors. Fun little experiments. I'm using the AeroGarden here. Sad news is AeroGarden is going out of business, so these will soon be an antique. I have a pepper and a new type to me of microdwarf tomato started, so I'm excited to get them going. I'll be making some videos about my hydroponic process over the winter. I've also got this ghost dropping plant that I've had growing for nearly a year in this other AeroGarden. I like to keep this one growing here because it provides me isolated seeds for my fun little creation. But if you are interested in learning more about how you can grow food indoors hydroponically, I'll leave a link again to a series that I did a couple years ago about how to grow with no soil. So that's it. Quick and simple in video format, but that's still a lot of work to do out in your garden in October. Enjoy the time, enjoy the cooler weather, get ready for fall, and start thinking about next year's garden. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and if you have any other October garden tasks you always knock out, let me know what they are. As always, remember, plants help us grow.